Hey guys, my name is Nick. Been living in the Algarve for like 23 years with my family here in PORTUGAL. My daughter Isabella, my wife Manuela, and my little dog Lucky. He's not so little actually. Anyway, a lot of you guys have many of you have seen a lot of my videos before, so you know this already. But if you haven't, welcome. I really appreciate you coming along to my channel. Now today I was thinking, well, what am I going to do this week for videos? And I have an idea. So the story behind this idea is like I was searching last night on the internet for, I was just trying to like purely for entertainment purposes. I really want to go to Switzerland. I've always wanted to go to Switzerland, but I'm well aware that it's one of the most expensive places in the world to go and visit. So it's kind of like a bucket list thing. And I was like checking it out and I found this video like Switzerland, 4-day itinerary. And I thought, wow, that would work really, really well for Portugal. So, and also somebody, a lady commented on my video the other day and said, hey, let's give us the itinerary of your 10-day trip around Portugal. So what I'm going to do today is give you for free the itinerary of my 10-day route around Portugal, which could serve you as a great itinerary to see the whole of Portugal. And secondly, I will also give you a free 1-day tour around the Eastern Algarve and an itinerary for a tour around the Western Algarve. Okay, so I hope that's going to help you. And I think it's quite exciting. So I'm going to go and chuck in, we'll get into there. We'll give you some maps and Google Maps and links and all kinds of cool stuff. So don't forget to check in the description below. So I often talk about these 4 main areas where people relocate to. So the main 2 areas that people are relocating to right now are Lagos and Tavira. And Lagos is number 1. So it's a great area, lots of outdoorsy expats. There's lots of mountain biking, road biking, paddleboarding, surfing, kayaking, whatever you want. There's a lot of outdoor hiking stuff as well. So there's a great funky community there, some really cool little restaurants and coffee shops and stuff popping up. And it's growing fast. Really is cool. Okay, second area is Cavoeiro, and I'm extending this to Portimão now because Portimão is becoming, it's the largest urban area in the Algarve, and there are a lot of expats. And I recently went over there to visit the Portugal Digital Nomads, and there's a great bunch of people, and it just shows that there's lots and lots of Italians and French people and Americans and everybody interacting. So that's a great community. So Portimão and over the river, Cavoeiro and Lagoa, where traditionally the older English expats have been living there for years. So that's the second area. The third area is this crescent to the west of Faro, like going all the way from where I live in São Brás del Portel, up in the north, all the way down through Lolé, down through Almancil to Villamora and Quarteira. And that's where a ton of expats are living and lots of foreign-owned businesses. And so you've got a great community of people around there, lots of cool restaurants, etc. And there's quite a vibey nightlife as well. And then the fourth area is right in the east around Tavira, which has traditionally been the haven of really old foreigners who come there to, play bridge and things like that. But now there's lots and lots of younger people coming in, and there's a lot of vitality in Tavira. Some Spanish come and mix in and go to the new shopping center there, which I say it's new, but it's probably like 10 years old. So Tavira is a place where people love to go because it's still very authentic Portuguese. So that's it. Those are the 4 main areas people are relocating to. The 1-day WEST Algarve itinerary. Now look, Sagres is a fascinating place to visit. It's commonly termed the end of the world. But it's great for surfing, windsurfing, kitesurfing, biking, and getting away from everyone else on long, windy walks. Living here is not up everyone's street, unless you're keen on Martinhal resort development. So I'd suggest visiting for fun, not really for relocation potential. Start your Western Algarve tour in Lagos, and things to bear in mind when looking for a place to live anywhere, not a place to holiday in, are the more mundane things like amenities, shops, schools, medical clinics and hospitals, government services, etc. Utilities are important to be aware of, but are generally available everywhere. Just check your internet if you're looking to live in a rural area. Proximity to the things that you love could be important, like beaches, open places to walk or bike, gyms, exercising communities, etc. Also, take note of the upkeep in the municipality you're looking to live in. Some are better than others. From Lagos, head west to Praia da Luz. Have coffee on the beach in Lazuli or Habana Bar, and note the parking, or lack of it, depending on the time of year. If you think you could live in a smaller village, then drive over to Burgao and Salema before returning along the 125, connecting up with the A22 highway and shuttling over to Silves. But here's a little quick tip. Turn off towards Monchique and take a gorgeous little shortcut along the Odeluca River to Silves. The road's not so good, but it's actually worth it for the scenery. Have lunch at Mosaico Restaurant after noting the residential area outside town just to the north of the castle. If you're not ready to eat, drive south through Lagoa, and check that out as well, towards Cavoeiro and pick up some lunch at Boneca Bar in Algarve Seco. It's generally for the location, not the food so much. Walk along the boardwalk towards the village itself if you're feeling energetic, and then drive out westwards towards Ferragudo, observing all the housing resorts along the way. After crossing the Arad River into Portimao, spend some time getting lost in the biggest urban area of the Algarve and head down to Praia da Rocha. Some people love the apartment living there. Along with Armaçao de Pera and Quarteira, it's possibly the better oceanside value in the Algarve. If it's not for you, then skip back over to Lagos and remember to explore the eastern side of Lagos, or the Meia Praia area, for living potential as well. And voila, you've done it. One day in the West Algarve. A one-day Eastern Algarve itinerary. You can do this loop if you're based in either Faro, Lolé or Olhão. I'm imagining that you're based in Faro for this example. So head east along the EN125 road through Olhão. It's not the most inspiring area, but you'll catch glimpses of the flat, marshy lands of the Rio Formosa. Extensive salt pans actually cover the area, and this was vital for the fishing industry back in the day, before refrigeration became popular in the Algarve. Stop in at Olhão markets for a coffee and a stroll through the old town before dipping inland to Moncarapaccio. There are quite a few expats living in the hills and valleys surrounding this little town, and they love it. Fuzeta is a crusty little fishing village down on the coast with tons of potential. Property developers have already realized this and have morphed the front line of the town into a modern cluster of townhouses and apartments with stunning views of the Rio Formosa. Santa Luzia, a little bit further east, is a good riverside stop on your way to Tavira, and it's known as the octopus capital of the Algarve, or maybe the world. Personally, I don't eat octopus, but it's a Portuguese delicacy. Arriving in Tavira, if it's lunchtime, I suggest you stop and eat on the River Gelão at one of the many riverside restaurants. If you have time, take the ferry out to Tavira Island and eat there. There are about 5 or so restaurants scattered on the sand, and it's easy to find a ferry, either from in the center of town or at Quatro Águas, just a little bit further to the southeast of town. Try Sal Restaurant on Tavira Island. Drive east on the EN125 or skip the laboriousness of our main road by taking the A22 highway to Villarreal Santo Antonio. You can also call it Viorese if you want to be cool. It's an interesting border town with 11,000 residents wedged in between the ocean and the River Guadiana, our border with Spain. For a special treat, book a high tea at the Grand House Hotel. Their Grand Cafe is opening this year, so keep an eye out. Alternatively, you could browse the apartments, because that's what you're actually here for, right? Relocating. Get back on the A22, head back to São Brás del Portel, about 45 minutes away, and grab a drink in the square. Many people live in lovely villas just outside the town, which is the same size as Villarreal do Santo Antonio, but it has a very different feel. It's all about country living, cork trees and madroño up here. As the sun sets, drive down through Estoy and Santa Barbara de Nesh to Faro. Wow, this trip was epic. My daughter and I went on a 10-day road trip all the way around Portugal to try and take in all the hubs we could, because her school has these centers where all the students get together, and they're like classrooms all around the country, so that we call them hubs. And at that stage, they had about 30 hubs. Now they have 54. So this was in October 2022, and we went all the way around the country, as you can see. So the best thing for you to do is to dig into this map online in Google Maps. So check the links in the description, and you can see I've put in all the hotels we stayed at. Some were great, some were not that amazing, but they were pretty good, and they were pretty good value for money as well. So check out the map in the link in the description below, and that'll hopefully help you out if you're looking for around. But I think the best thing to do is, if you do want to go around Portugal, I can tailor make these itineraries for you. So jump on a call with me, and we can tailor make an itinerary for you, and I can send you, all this kind of stuff. So I think it's much easier if you have it, or it's much more beneficial if you have a tailor-made itinerary. So get in touch with me through algarveaddicts.com, and I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. ALGARVE Addicts.com